Well, he's teaching these two how to really get it in these streets. And they like, damn, all right, bet. Now let's apply that to our regular everyday life. Now, let me see. We see emotional side of Jen. Now, Jen, she's going through it. Emerson, she gone. Michelle, she gone. She got her dad in here. Like, it's been a couple weeks, y'all. It's been a couple weeks, and they still haven't cleaned up this blood that was in the living room. This blood has just been sitting in here. No one has done anything, stinking up the place. And now Jen is in the corner crying, talking about, oh, Dad, I'm not like Michelle. Oh, I just don't know. I just don't know. Now, remember, she got suspended from work. And her dad is like, hey, man, chill, chill, chill. It ain't that bad. It ain't that bad. Just put your mind to it and get it done. How did y'all feel about Jen seeing her emotional side? Do you think like she's really I mean, we know from this episode that Jen's really about to put that work in. But are you trying to do this much work when you're suspended? Are you really trying to put in this much work? Like if I'm suspended, that's it, man. I don't want nothing else. I'm not trying to work that hard. Look, they still got bullets in the like. Look at the blinds. The blinds is toe up. Like I'm not about to be sitting in this house crying, blood still on the ground. What up, King Drip? We just talking about Detective Jen in here crying. She didn't let the blood all on the floor. She reading books, writing memos. Dad's over here scrubbing up blood. Scrub the ground. And he's like, hey, you'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? People die every day, B. But she goes to talk to Brian after this because her dad gave her a little bit of faith. And he's like, man, don't look at it that way. Because she's trying to go after Henry. Now, he's been working with Henry. And she also asked, shout out to Kendall, because Kendall was the first person that I seen ask, will Blaze or Henry have any, like the chief of police or anyone on the payroll? Now, I said I didn't think so. But once Detective Bryant basically confirmed it, was like, man, he got a lot of pull with the politicians. I was like, okay, Kendall was right on that. Kendall was right on that. That was the first person I seen saying, hey, do we think that they might be in the pocket? But she brings the file and she's like, okay, Henry's dad is Blaze, okay? And he's like, okay, he knows this because he's been working with both of them. He's like, oh, damn. Well, what else do you know? She's like, well, I'm trying to get plugged in. I'm trying to go meet Henry myself. And he's like, nah, you can't do that. And if you do, let me know before you go over there because you ain't gonna do nothing but get yourself killed. But Jen, she don't give a damn. She like, man, I gotta go get even. This is for Amberson. This is for this is for the gang. This is for the crew. This is for the mob. This is for the people. This is for us. This is for the in the Cadillac. So Emerson, she dead. She didn't got shot up. Detective G was supposed to pop her cherry, but instead someone got popped. Yeah, see the administrative crew, we didn't really get to. Okay, here we go. So Jin decides, hey, I'm about to go to the gambling spot. I'm about to meet up with Henry myself. Now, remember, the guy that they arrested, this is Lenny. Remember, this is the guy that they arrested with the ambulance. Her and Amberson, when they kicked in the door, when she had the sling on. Remember, the ambulance was registered to his name that he got from an auction that he gave to Henry and the crew. So that's who this is. And if you heard what she was saying, he said, all right, look, I got you in, but this is all I can do. She's like, we'll get you a plea agreement and we're going to get some time off of your sentence if this plays out. So niggas is always snitching. So Jen shows up. Did anyone hear what Jen's nickname was? Because she was like, how can I keep in touch? But as Miles is saying, that's how Henry knows who Jen is. I don't think she knows that this is Jen at this point. Because Lenny couldn't give up Jen's name because he's trying to get out of any of his charges. So Henry doesn't know who Jen is at this point. She knows who Jen, the detective, is, but she doesn't know who this woman is. Because remember, she asked for a name, but they never gave the name. It just went to the next scene. Unless I'm tripping. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think Jen gave up her name. So we don't know what Jen's nickname is at this point, do we? I could be wrong though, but let's see.
Gamble.
Bet it all on black.
I could change.
Right for the plucking.
I could teach you a thing or two, baby. And,
He said, how many Asian female cops in Detroit? Hell, I don't shit. According to Miles, hold on, let me go in the back. I got the records. Let me look at this. The data that we got. Okay. Now, are you just saying like Asian women in general, or are you saying Asian women between the height of 5'1" and 5'5"? I need to know if I need to narrow it down or not because I'm checking. He said one. I mean, you're right about that, but I mean, but you gotta look at it like this though, Miles. I mean, I'm agreeing with you. I'm just, I always gotta play devil's advocate. I always gotta look at it from all perspectives. Unless Henry has been in trouble with the police, why would she do any digging to find out how many Asian cops on the force? You know what I mean? Let alone detectives. So you're narrowing it down to detectives. You didn't say how many Asian police officers. You know what I mean? Yeah, Jim was at the hit on Bryant, but they were outside. They never looked inside the house. They couldn't see inside the house. All they did was shoot up the house. Remember, they were outside. Come on. Come on. I'll show you what was going on. Wait. Now I'm trying to find the shootout. So when they were getting shot at, Henry didn't know who was in the house. All they seen was Bryant. They followed Bryant. Bryant went in the house, and then they started shooting after Bryant was in the house. So they couldn't see who was in there. And even if they did, it wouldn't make you think, let me see if he's a detective. Because if you did all that work, then you would know by that time that Detective Bryant was fired. So if Detective Bryant is fired, he wouldn't be fucking with, you know what I mean? Because look at this. They couldn't see. This is the blinds from the house. They couldn't see in the house. They were just shooting the house up. They couldn't see in there. Like, they don't know that they killed somebody in there until like the news said something. They just thought they were trying to hit Bryant. The van hit. You talking about the ambulance? You talking about the ambulance? That was the only other time Bryant got shot at. Excuse me. And in the ambulance, remember, so during the ambulance shootout, no one survived that to be able to tell. Remember? So when the ambulance happened, it was Bryant and the guy that was driving. Then you had Jen and Emerson, and then you had Hoop and old boy from the PA. When they shot up the ambulance, old boy shot Detective Jen. Detective Bryant killed him, so he couldn't go back. And they went back to the warehouse, and Detective Bryant was like, "Nah, your people messed it up." So Henry never knew about Detective Jen as far as an Asian detective. So that's what I'm saying. Like, she wouldn't know anything about that. Let me see. Yeah, so here goes that scene here. So remember the driver? It was just the driver and Bryant. The dude shoots Detective Jen, and then Bryant kills that guy. And then from there, Henry is mad at Bryant because her cousin ended up dying. That was the cousin Tyshon that died. So now it was just Bryant. I mean, yeah, Bryant came back by herself, and that's why Henry was mad. So at this point, she doesn't know who Detective Jen is, and that's why she asked for the name so they can continue to go on. And well, the next thing we see is Jen talking to Bryant saying, "Hey, we're meeting up again because it felt natural." Let's see.
I've never seen anyone like you before either.
That's because I'm a rare find.
Well, I guess it's both our lucky nights.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it, man. I'm trying to get there. But you know, I gotta stop it because you know we ain't trying to get no copyrights.
Maybe I should gamble.
Bet it all on black.
Just let it go, baby. Don't let one.
All right, we're trying to see if she gave up a name.
So, how are we gonna keep this going if I don't know your name?
All right, we got no name. So Henry don't know about Jen yet from what we've seen. That was good though, Mouse. I like that. I like that. No Diddy. I like that. We definitely need to go over that just to, all right, is there any connection that she might potentially know who Jen is? Well, Jen is undercover right now, and she meets up with Brian after this, and she tells Brian everything that happened. Okay. That's why I like the live shows, man, because now it took us back. It was like, wait a minute, does she know about Jen? Now, unless she talks to her dad, Blaze, because he has the connections. He's like, hey, is there any, saying I met this Asian girl, but I don't think she would say, hey, dad, I met this Asian girl. Can you see if she's on the police force? You know what I mean? I don't think she's going to talk to her dad about like those type of situations. Now she shows up and she talks to Brian. She's like, "Hey, Brian, man, I met up with Henry, and it was a real thing." And he's like, "Listen, next time you meet up with her, let me know so I can be there." So it looks like we good to go, y'all. We good to go. Like, of course, we didn't really get much from Henry in this week, but next week it looks like it's building up in the trailer that we got. And I mean, that's pretty much the story this week. I mean,